Live from First State Bank Studios, good morning. I'm Orrin Jackson. It's 7 a.m., committing this time to reading some scripture. Today it's Mark 8. It says, "Then he called the crowd to him along with his disciples and said, 'Whoever wants to be my disciple must deny themselves and take up their cross and follow me. For whoever wants to save their life will lose it, but whoever loses their life for me and for the gospel will save it.'" That was Mark 8. This is one of those passages that doesn't just inspire you, it confronts you. Because Jesus isn't offering a motivational quote here. He's describing a whole different way to live, a way that goes against the instinct we all have to protect ourselves, preserve comfort, and keep control. Most of us spend our lives trying to save ourselves, save our reputation, save our energy, save our plans, and save our feelings. And the world tells us that that's wisdom. Stay guarded, stay safe, stay in charge. But Jesus says something that sounds upside down. The tighter you grip your life, the more you lose it. Not always overnight, but slowly. You can keep everything together on the outside and still feel emptier on the inside, because a life built around self-preservation eventually becomes a life ruled by fear. Fear of failing, fear of being rejected, fear of being exposed, fear of not measuring up, and fear is a terrible boss. It never lets you rest. When Jesus says deny themselves, he's not saying you don't matter. He's saying you are not the sinner. There's a difference. Denying yourself means you stop treating every desire as a demand. You stop letting impulses lead the way. You stop making comfort the goal and start making obedience the goal. And take up your cross means you willingly carry what is costly for the sake of what is holy. Choosing integrity when shortcuts are available. Choosing forgiveness when bitterness would feel justified. Choosing faithfulness when nobody is watching. Choosing humility when pride would feel powerful. Here's the deep part. Jesus is telling us that real life, the kind that actually feels like life, is found on the other side of surrender. The world says, find yourself by putting yourself first. Jesus says, find your life by giving it to me. Because when you place your life in God's hands, you stop living like everything depends on you. You start living from a different source. Grace instead of pressure. Purpose instead of performance, peace instead of control. And if you think about it, this is freedom. Not the freedom to do whatever you want, but the freedom from the constant need to prove yourself. The freedom from chasing approval. The freedom from living for applause. The freedom to follow Christ even when it costs you something, because you trust that God's way leads to a life that can't be taken away by circumstances. Today, don't cling to what you can't satisfy. Surrender to the one who gives real life. Take up your cross and follow him. This 7 a.m. scripture is brought to you by Trey Collins Construction and Trucking Company. That's 580-236-9295.